doesn't give him room, or when you're used to racing at a place like this, how do you approach that situation differently, either truck?
Well, it's tough. I mean, you just can't bump here. I mean, that was just, I don't even know if they even hit, but he just got a little bit sideways, and that's it down here. The momentum just takes you around.
Now there is Chase.
You see Chase gets hit from behind. He's trying to control the truck. It's completely out of control now. Watch it as it goes to the inside, hits that barrier, goes airborne. He did a lot of damage to the left front of that truck, Mike. Got nudged from behind and just never could get the handle on it.
I think that was Bob Strait. There's Ernie Irvin talking it over. Here's another look at it. See if we see the contact here, Doug.
Yeah, he got a little bump there, and that's all it takes down here is just a little bump, and you're...
Now watch Ruttman save the truck. Watch him keep it off the wall here. He does a good job right here of spinning it around. Just misses the wall. The difference was he got tagged earlier back in the corner than Lagasse did. He had a little more room to save the truck.
They're going to pick up Mike Chase's truck, take it back to the pit area, see if they can make repairs on the diehard number 1. Second caution of the evening, folks. We'll be right back. Pace truck has the field coming out of turn number 4 as we're under the second caution of the night. Joe Ruttman, no damage on his truck as he spun down the front straightaway, just nicked the wall, took a little paint off the bumper cover. Ray Evernham is one of the drivers who used to run the modifieds here. Now, of course, he's Winston Cup crew chief for Jeff Gordon. And we asked him, as a former driver here, how would you set up a truck to run Flemington?
Again, I don't have a lot of experience with the trucks, but if I were going to take a Winston Cup car there, I would be prepared to make a car drive on the loose side again, which means when you turn it, that it turns. Flemington tends to be a tight, high-speed track. You're going to want stiff right side springs to keep the thing from falling over. You're going to need a stiff right rear spring to keep the thing turning. We used to run a lot off tire stagger with the modifieds to help them turn up off the corner. You don't have that luxury when you have a radial tire, so the guys are going to have to find some way of making that truck turn without having it loose getting in, because as I said, Flemington's very fast, and the last thing you want to be is loose getting into the corner there.
Doug, agree or disagree?
I disagree with, I mean, I agree with everything Ray said. The only thing I would have added to that is I'd have pulled all the gear out of the truck. Just take all the power away from the motor so you can just ride and ride and ride.
Rick Corelli told me earlier today that he didn't feel like, there you see Ray Evernham's modified car that he ran here at Flemington, New Jersey. Hey, he won some races.
Yes, he did. He's a pretty good modified shoe.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Pretty good chief mechanic, too.
Yes,
crew chief. But anyway, what I was going to say, Corelli told me that you only use about 60% throttle here, that if you try to get in the gas all the way, it's so flat here, it just spins the tires, Doug.
Yeah, you don't ever get the thing flat out.
Randy? Check with Randy.
One of the reasons they put the styrofoam out there was because of a bad crash Ray had here. He took a real heavy crash coming off the 4th turn there, and that was one of the reasons they come out with that styrofoam idea.
Before we go to the restart, here's Randy.
You know, as we get ready to go green, I talked with a few drivers or a few crew chiefs about the sun. There's an awful big glare coming out of turn 4 here. It all depends on how much tape they have at the top of the windshield to reduce some of that glare. As far as Joe Ruttman's team, they said that was not the problem, but there could be some other guys wishing they had a little bit more tape on the top of that windshield.
Right there, you're driving straight into the sun as you come into turn number 4. 25 truck, Jack Sprague, is now in that Budweiser Chevy. Rick Hendrick truck, Dennis Conner, the crew chief. And there is Mike Skinner trying to chase him down. And the Dodge right behind of Dennis Setzer.
Yeah, this place was well suited to Dennis Setzer. He grew up on bull rings like this, and that Dodge truck has been strong everywhere they've gone. Setzer's going to give it a run tonight.
Looking back at that Ram front end of Setzer's Dodge. Running a little higher in the corner than is Mike Skinner's number 3.
I got behind Dennis in practice a couple times there, Mike, and he was a little bit about 2 grooves or 2 lanes higher on the racetrack than anybody out there. It seemed to be working well for him, though. He's having no trouble keeping up with Skinner, starting to put a little pressure on him.
Doug, will that free the truck up to run it a little higher here or no?
Actually, no. I usually free my car up by getting closer to the guardrail where nobody's actually put any rubber down yet, so maybe he's a little loose, and that's why he's up there.
Setzer in number 30, that red Dodge. As they try to run down the 25 of Jack Sprague. be the race for 4th place. There's Sylvie Butler in 7th.
Butler did get by Portengay right before that last caution.
And here's Joe Ruttman trying to come back. Ruttman takes to the inside underneath Michael Dockett. Picks his way up a spot and begins to move on Ken Allen.
Mikey's already back up to 13th place in the running order, so he's wasting no time getting back up front.
Ken Allen in the Onsat Chevrolet gives Ruttman racing room on the bottom, and the Mac Tools Ford moves up another notch. Dave Resendiz in that pack as well. And the Exide batteries number 7. Oh, Ruttman had a real handful right there.
He got a little sideways. Mike, you see the Mac Tools sponsorship on the side of the truck there. We'll take this opportunity to congratulate Dale Jarrett. He and Mac Tools Ford won the Busch Grand National race today in Michigan.
He lapped all but the next 4 cars.
He was strong today. Hey, you see Setzer really starting to put some pressure on Mike Skinner now.
Doug, it looks like Setzer is getting out of the corner and up high on the racetrack quicker than Skinner, who's letting his truck work up out of the bottom of the racetrack a little easier.
He might be binding his truck up a little bit by running down low there, but if he's got a good handle in the race truck, he's going to get by him.
All right, 2nd place battle here. Rick Corelli looks to the inside of the 75 of Bill Sedgwick. Let's check with Randy.
Well, you know, you're talking about Mike Skinner. I just talked to Will Lynn before they dropped the green flag in this race. He's the GM of this truck operation for Richard Childress, and he said this is absolutely the worst we have run in any race this year. He said the only way we may get to the front, and we may, is if the weather happens to change this. But what he meant by that was the fact that when the sun starts to go down, they may have been so far out of shape that they get in shape, but they're not quite sure. It's the worst they qualified all year. Just could not get the handle to that good wrench machine, but they're going to work on it at halftime.
Well, that's wishing and hoping. And you see now, the entire front straightaway is in the shadows right here down to turn number 1. The backstretch still in the sunlight.
Boy, Corelli is really working hard trying to get around Bill Sedgwick in the 75 truck. Watch Corelli hug it right down to the bottom, and when he turns the truck right here, watch him try to get under Sedgwick. He just doesn't have the ability to turn the truck enough and get in the gas to make that move on it.
Lapping past Jerry Glanville, the number 81.
Sometimes that's an adventure.
And a little bit more slow traffic. Now they're clear to run down the leader. 33 laps complete coming up on the first quarter mark of this 150 lapper. We'll be right back to New Jersey. 10 p.m. Eastern Time, the Amoco Knoxville Nationals World of Outlaws Sprint Car Racing live here on TNN. And Steve Kinzer has to come through the C main and the B main to get in the show. Should be fun tonight. Now here at Flemington, New Jersey, we're under the 3rd caution of the night.
Mike, the caution was for Butch Miller there. He's got a flat left rear tire. He stopped the truck coming off the 2nd turn over there, right against the guardrail on the bottom, brought out the caution. Now he's got it going again, but you can see the left rear tire there. Boy, that's a tough break for Butch. He's 3rd place in the points.
Question will be if Miller went a lap down, if the 98 truck went a lap down when he spun. So Randy Pemberton's there as Miller comes to pit lane.
Absolutely peeled away the left rear. They're going to take about 5 guys to help lift this thing up. No jack as we see it. Oh, okay, there it is in the back of the truck. I was going to say I don't see that too often, but there it is. New skin going on the left side, right underneath the Revesta sign. The sponsor on Butch Miller's automobile. Not a problem. Changes down the way. They're going to lose the lap. Yes, he did.
Down at least 1 and perhaps 2 laps now.
I think by my count, Mike, he lost 2 laps. I think he lost a lap on the racetrack because he sat over there for a while till the caution came out.
Now, while we were away, there was a change at 2nd position. Ron Hornaday had been working and working on Bill Sedgwick's number 75, and finally he got some race room.
Well, looks like he set him up just right, Doug. He finally got the thing slowed down enough to make that turn off the corner there.
I'll tell you, it looks like he's got a good working truck.
I think right now that Corelli has the fastest truck on the racetrack. Before that caution came out for Butch Miller, Corelli was working through traffic and gaining steadily on Ron Hornaday. I think Hornaday's going to have his hands full when this thing goes back to green.
Rick Corelli looking for his first win of the season. He finished third at Tucson and at Indianapolis. Third caution of the night. And Ron Hornaday has now led 700 laps this season. Now there's the 38 track of Sammy Swindell, who's just gone one down. How did Sammy spend the day preparing for tonight's Super Truck race? This just in. There's Sammy at Knoxville, Iowa. They've been racing out there all week for one of the richest prizes and most prestigious victories in all of sprint car racing, the Knoxville Nationals. And you'll see the finale tonight live on TNN. The instant this race is over, Sammy gets in a helicopter, heads for a private jet, goes right back to Knoxville, and at 10 p.m. Eastern time, you'll see him strapped into his Sprinter. Back to green at 43 laps.
Good restart by Ron Hornaday there. He gained 2 or 3 truck lengths on Corelli, but I don't think Corelli's going to have any trouble chasing him down, guys.
Oh, 3 wide. Toby Butler there with Dennis Setzer. They do sort it out. Here comes Sedgwick, who did not get that great a restart. And John Nemechek, who spun all by himself but did not bring out the caution while we were in commercial.
Nemechek spun while battling Joe Ruttman for the 10th spot. Ruttman has moved back to 10th. He's got flat spotted tires, though, and he can't change those until the halfway break.
NASCAR's rule is the tire must be losing air for you to be allowed to change it. Oh, boy, Nemechek.
Wow, what a mess.
Yeah, but not nearly as bad as it would have been if he run into a steel retaining wall. This one will bring out the caution. John Nemechek, the younger of the racing brothers from Lakeland, Florida, in the Delco Remy, number 87. Ending up with perhaps repairable damage. You see, he's able to continue. Not going to get a lot of air on that rear spoiler. And the styrofoam blocks do their job.
Man, that makes me just want to go out there and like crunch this stuff up, you know. You see it flying everywhere. You want to break pieces off.
I've seen you drive, and you would.
I'm talking about with my hands.
I know.
Watch Nemechek get way up out of the groove. The back end came around. Pow! It's snowing in August in New Jersey. But you're right, not near as much damage to the truck.
Oh, no.
And he hit the metal guardrail there.
I'll tell you, on a Saturday night, some nights it does look like it's snowing with the lights out and all the styrofoam flying. It's something to see.
And Nemechek, instead of being on the hook and perhaps headed for the meat wagon, he's able to drive into the pits and get that truck, hopefully, repaired. We're under caution at 47 laps. We'll be right back to Flemington, New Jersey on TNN after this.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Stevens Beil Genuine Car Parts 150 on TNN is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
13 trucks on the lead lap at Flemington, New Jersey. Hornaday the leader, Corelli, Sedgwick, Sprague, Skinner, Setzer, Butler, Fortengay, Ruttman, and Bliss the top 10. Next lap will be racing. The other nice thing about those styrofoam blocks is they clean up very quickly. We're ready to go back to racing. John Nemechek, though, has parked his truck. From Ron Hornaday.
Yeah, that was fast. I was impressed with how quickly they replaced the styrofoam that was broken, got the other one in place, and blew those little snowflakes right off the track. They're ready to go racing again.
A lot faster than you can fix that truck.
Oh, believe me, Glenn, they get a lot of practice on a Saturday night. Tear that stuff up on a regular basis.
That's right.
What does that styrofoam feel like when you hit it?
It does help some. You know, when you hit that hard, it doesn't feel like it helped, but it really does. When you bring the car back in the pits, you can see that it's not as much damage if it wasn't there.
Talking about cost-effective racing, that helps. We are under green once again. 51 laps complete. Hornaday, the leader, dispenses with Swindell. He got a much better restart than Rick Corelli.
Yeah, Corelli stuck with the lap traffic. Now you see Sammy Swindell on the inside of him there, and that's where Rick wants to be, right on the bottom of the track.
There's Sedgwick trying to edge and tiptoe right